Sarah, do you still see my screen? What do you see in the screen?
I am seeing your Teams.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. Now you should see the slide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and check this one here. Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to RefineM's another webinar. We will start very soon, maybe in a minute or so. Uh, okay, all right. And if I, Sarah, if I click on this, you see the PowerPoint goes away, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you see the screen. Okay, okay, all right. Ah, put off my camera here. And okay, let's get started. Let's get started. Um, so, with today's webinar is about how do we speed up, right? We hear in about several agile implementation mindset that agile is about um, increasing the speed or speed to delivery, but how do we really do it? How do we really do it? So this webinar is about how do you double or triple the speed? Okay, so we'll talk about the technique for doing this. Uh, let's move ahead. So we'll have introductions and then we'll say why you want to double this speed. Then I will talk about the 5-step process that can double your speed very quickly in less than 90 days. So that's very effective, but it has to be done in the right manner. It has to be done in the right manner. And I will share you this 5-step approach that I have developed based on my own experience with more than 200 teams in last 10, 12 years. And then we'll have a quiz and then Q&A. Okay. All right. So some of you for who are attending for the first time, I'm an enterprise agile coach. I started my own company in December 2011. And since that, we have been doing agile transformation or coaching, project management, consulting and training, process improvements. And before this, I spent working 25 years working in different companies, managing, delivering projects, did all kind of work, leading projects, recovering projects, implementing process improvement projects, and whatnot. All right, so quickly, let's move on. So we will use Menti for interaction purposes, and we have a quiz for which we will use Menti. So let's go to Menti, and I would like you to go to menti.com from your from your phone or tablet or laptop, whatever you have, and use this code, and so this question will come up in front of you. You can respond. So what is your expectation, or what are your expectations from this webinar? What you want to learn today? What will be good use of your time for next 45 50 minutes? uh, so go to this. You have the instruction here, menti.com, and enter the code and then answer the question. So I'll give you maybe 20 30 seconds to do that. Usually it's pretty quick, pretty quick. So why you are here today? What do you want to learn? That's the that's the question. Okay. Okay. I see. Learn about improving AGI. What is AGI? I don't know what is AGI. New tools, new tips, automation. Okay. Like improving AGI. What is AGI? If you are putting on the chat, I'm not looking at the chat. Uh, okay. Anybody else? Ways of working. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. What else? What do you want to learn today? Anything else? Anybody would like? I have only 3 people responded so far. Sarah, how many people are there in the webinar? I don't see that list here.
Looks like 12.
Okay, very good, very good. So can some more people interact? Let it be interactive. I just don't want to do lecturing. New tips. Okay, some new tips. Okay, all right, very good. What else? New tips. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So. Uh, So we have new webinars and new products and online trainings. I'm going to deliver the same webinar at projectmanagement.com. We are still trying to figure out the date. I don't know, Sarah, if we already got the date or not, but we are shooting for third week of April, I guess. Um, so we should have this date soon, and it will be on our website when it comes. So if some of your colleagues or friend missed this one, then they have another opportunity to join at projectmanagement.com next month. So why double the speed? Why would you like to double the speed? Um, to meet or exceed customer expectations, because customer expectation is to deliver faster, right? They want to get your service or solutions or products faster. So that is one reason why you want to speed up. Develop positive relationships with everybody else. Get quick feedback. So if you deliver faster, you get faster feedback. If you deliver slow, then slow feedback. And that also helps you, beat your competition, because if you are delivering faster than others who are your competitors, then you can beat the competitors. And also foster innovation. How do we do it? So it helps think you in an innovative manner, and it fosters innovation. um, Anybody think of why anything else other than these what I have here? Other will be like what is not here, and Sarah, that may be a good bullet to add here, is to capture the market share. So if you are in a as a product development company, app development company, then you go in the market first or go in the market faster. So you capture the larger share of the market as compared to the smaller share of the market if you go late. So that's another reason why you would like to speed up. Are there any other reason? Since there are not a lot many people, you can talk. You can unmute yourself and talk. What do you think? What are the other reasons? Anybody want to, if they want to contribute, they can talk. So why you want to speed up? So that's another. Any other reason anybody can think of?
Maybe
Okay,
cost savings.
cost savings. Yeah, absolutely, cost savings. Because if you do it sooner, then you are saving the cost. Otherwise, if you had, so if you do something in 2 months versus doing something in 3 months, yes, cost savings, profitability. If you save the cost, then your profitability also improves. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, all right, let's move on. So here is our 5 step approach to double or triple the speed in 8 to 12 weeks. So I will say less than 90 days. So 5 step approach, and I will talk about these 5 steps briefly, and then we'll go some more deeper into how do you get started. Okay, it may not, if I go in detail of each of these steps, it will not be done in one webinar. So let's have a high level picture or high level approach. How do you do that? So very first is, you need to have change leader. This is a huge change. If you are doing something in let's say 6 months, now you are doing the same thing in 3 months. So it's a huge change. So somebody need to be leading this change. So that leader need to be identified for, and bringing in any change, you need a change leader. So you need to identify, and it could be you who can be this change leader. It could be somebody else in your organization, or it could be you who are committed to lead this change. So first of all, we need to identify the change leader, and then we need to uh, we figure out how we are going to do it. Okay, how we are going to do it. Normally that is done through a 2-day discovery workshop, and we in this webinar I'm going to go deeper into this today. How do you do that? Because after that, once you have figured out how we are going to do it, then it's part of the designing and implementation. This is a very, very crucial step. Number two, discovery. How do we do it? Okay, how do we do it? So that's what we are going to go into details today. Okay, and after you have figured out how you are going to do it, then you design and deploy your solution or new operating model or new process, uh, with the help of collaborating with the stakeholders and the team. You may need some tool, or you may need more than one tool, and you may have to train the team. Whatever, that is all part of design and deploy. So here you have discovered, here you have established, but now you are designing and deploying it. So that's the stage 3 here. And you start collecting data, because that is important. If you don't have data, then how do you know that you are improving? So you start collecting speed data. You want to know what is my baseline speed, and then as I implement this new model that I created, is the speed really is really increasing? Are we getting things done faster, whether a product deployment or a service? Are we doing it faster? So you need to collect data. That's very important. So in this one, you figure out how I will collect the data, and you start collecting data. You baseline your things, and you have a process in place to collect the data. So your design part has started. Now you execute. So you figured out, you designed and deployed your new model that will deliver you high speed, and then you execute it. And during this time, change leaders, you are the change leader. If you are the change leader, then you are there could be more than one change leader that provides the leadership during execution. When team gets stuck or team has questions, then they provide the guidance, and you start collecting and analyzing the speed metrics. Every week is preferred. Every week is much better than doing it every month or so. And That is from the perspective of, are we really in the right direction? So if you want to achieve that in 8 to 12 weeks, then having some kind of a trend every week will be useful every week, and that's the kind of fast change we would like to see. uh, Otherwise, if you don't do it on a weekly basis, then this timeline gets extended. you know is it doable? Yes, it is doable. I have done it. It is doable. Within 90 days you can see this. Okay, within 90 days you can see this. uh, and the key part is that you have established a process. In 3, you have established a process for speed data collection. Now you are collecting and analyzing what is happening. Are we moving in the right direction? Do we need to make any change? Things like that. So here, during execution, you do that, and then the change leader can transition. Change leader can transition, identify new process champions from within the team who can carry forward. And if, as a change leader, you are part of the team, then probably you may not have to do the transition. But if you want to, now go to other team and help the other team, then find out some champions within this team and transition to the new team. So this all of this happens, you know in probably about 12 to 14 weeks, because see, this is finding a leader is before you actually start your process. So that's what it is. So the process actually gets started with discovery, and discovery is just 2 days. It is not like weeks. It is 2 days, and probably in next 2 3 days you will design and deploy. So this step 2 and 3 probably could happen within a week. No, it's realistic. It's not unrealistic. But if it takes more, so discovery is a time box thing. It need to be done within 2 days. So that's a time box thing. So there is no extension or delay here. There could be an extension and delay here based on what kind of infrastructure you have, what kind of a tool you have, what kind of design you got. So all those, I think there are some factors, but I think uh, 3 days is pretty reasonable. It cannot happen in a day. Okay, very difficult. But it should not take more than 2 weeks. Means 2 weeks is the outer limit. So, but 3 4 days is good enough for this design. And then for next 8 to 10 weeks, you do execution. 8 to 10 weeks you do execution, and then after that you do transition. So most of the time, like 8 to 10 week time is spent in this execute. This is about a week or little more than a week, and this is before you start your discovery workshop. So this is before that. So the entire process, 8 to 10 weeks here, a week or little bit more here, and then you can achieve this in 12 weeks or 90 days. Anybody has any question here? We'll take Q&A at the end also. But for now, are there any questions about this 5-step approach? Okay, all right, let's move on. So as I was talking about that, in today's webinar, we'll talk about the how part, this discovery part, how, what is going to be our new process or new model. Okay, how do we do this? So this is what we are going to do. So they discover what I call as speed killers. The discovery is about finding those speed killers and removing those speed killers, or killing. I call a term they use, killing the speed killers. Okay, so that is what we do in discovery. So this is what this is the step 2 here, and what we are going to do in this 2-day discovery. Okay, what we are going to do. So the very first thing that we are going to do in this discovery, we are going to visualize the current value delivery process. What is your current value delivery? How do you deliver product or service to your customers? What is that process? And visualizing that process through value stream mapping, and we'll talk a little bit about value stream mapping. That is the first step, to visualize the current value stream process using value stream mapping, and then you determine the current speed. So if you don't have the data from your database or your system that you are using currently, then you basically do your best estimate, and it may be a collective best estimate, because let's say if the whole team is participating, a team of 8, 10, 15 people, they are participating, so we have their collective judgment. So we collectively say, okay, how much is the current speed, how much time does it take for the team to deliver product or service to their customer, what is the current speed. Okay. Because you need to know that. And then you identify the speed killers, where the speed, what is slowing us down, or what slows us down. I call those as speed killers, where the speed is getting killed. So identifying those speed killers, I think that's another thing you do in this 2-day discovery workshop. Okay. And then generate ideas to kill the speed killers. Okay. So how do you kill the speed killers? What you're going to do to kill the speed killers, and then co-create fit for purpose delivery model, the new delivery model that will double the speed, and develop some Kaizen plans, some action items to achieve it quickly. So now we will create what is the new model, what change we have to do so that our speed can be doubled, and how do we kill the speed killers. So those ideas got generated here, but now we are putting those ideas into a model. That is what we are doing. We are putting, so we are creating a model. So at the end of this 2-day discovery workshop, we will have a model of the new model that will double our speed. Okay, double or sometimes triple even our speed. So that is what we get out of the discovery workshop. So let's go a little deeper into discovery workshop. How do we really do that? So first is the value stream mapping, and maybe if you attended my some previous webinars, I have talked about value stream mapping a few times. But if you did not, then let's have it here. And if you attended it, it may be a little revision for this. So what is value stream mapping? Value stream mapping is a paper and pencil technique that is used to document, analyze, and improve all three things: document, analyze, and improve the flow of information and material required to deliver a product or service. So it basically documents, analyzes, and improves the process. What is your process for delivering value? And that's what we need to visualize. That was the first step in the discovery, right? That we need to visualize that first. So value stream mapping helps in visualizing that process of how you deliver value to your customers. And value stream mapping can actually help you optimize the process. It will help you improve the quality, improve the lead time, which is basically we are calling about the speed. But if you improve the quality and then the lead time, they are both tied up. If one improves, the other improves. Also, employee satisfaction, and it also can give you some slack. It can help you prioritize, and also provides transparency. So there are a lot of benefits of doing a value stream mapping exercise. Okay, so let's have this video here, and I will make sure that you get the audio. So let's start this here to understand it a little bit more.
Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur. And
so are you able to hear the audio?
Yeah.
Anybody? Okay, good. All right.
Let's talk about value stream mapping for Lean. I call it Lean Simplified. And let me introduce you to the power tools for this. They're called Post-it notes. I use the square ones for activities and the arrows for the gaps between activities. And let me give you an example. I worked with a group a while back, and it was taking them 140 days to process a transaction, if you will. And that just seemed entirely too long. And so what we did was we started to lay out the value stream, the map of what happened. And first step, log the request. And then they'd evaluate the request. And then they'd research the request. And then they'd decide if the request was valid or not. Then they'd schedule an exam, diagnose the patient, and treat that patient. Now, at this time, this 140 days was the fastest of anywhere in the nation. Now, I always use these little arrows to show the time in between. But here's what I've learned from working in a lean environment with many different kinds of processes. You quickly discover that maybe 3 minutes out of every hour are spent with people doing something or machines doing something, but the other 57 minutes are all spent the products waiting on something to happen. I call this the 357 rule. So what happened here was I asked them, I said, okay, so how long does it take to log the request? And they said, maybe 5 minutes. I said, okay. And then how long does it take to evaluate the request? And they said, 25 days. I said, really? You got one guy, one sheet of paper, working on this for 25 days? And they said, well, no, actually, it's maybe 30, 40 minutes to evaluate the request. And I said, oh, so there's 25 days of delay. They said, yeah. I said, okay, so what happens next? Well, we research the request. Really? I said, how long does that take? And they said, 120 days. I said, really? 120 days? One guy, one sheet of paper? And they, well, no, that might take an hour. I said, so there's a 120-day delay. And very quickly you discover out of this 140-day process, a lot of it is stuck in these two boxes right here. Then, if it's okay, they schedule the exam. I said, how long does that take? Maybe 10 minutes. How long before you actually get to do the exam? Well, as much as 7 days. And then it might be, maximum 1 day before you get around to treatment. The diagnosis, maybe an hour. The treatment, that could be ongoing. So what you discover here is in that 140 plus days, there was only 7 hours of real work in the entire process. So once you've mapped the value stream, then you want to figure out, well, how can I redesign this to get rid of these big delays, especially that one and this one on top of it? I said, well, could you just log the request and get right into evaluating it? Well, maybe. I said, well, can you do the research request in the background? And the doctor said, well, we can usually tell from looking at the patient whether what they're asking for was really caused by what they say it was caused by. And so literally we could take it and go straight to schedule exam, eval, schedule, and get right into diagnosis. And they actually cut this process down to about a maximum of 30 days now. And that's how easy it is to redesign.
So from 140 days to 30 days, right? 140 days to 30 days, like increasing the speed 4 times. And that is what the power of value stream mapping is. Okay, that is what the power of value stream mapping is. That is what need to be discussed in the 2-day discovery workshop. So we start with visualizing. Let's talk a little bit more about value stream mapping, so you get a good idea of this. So there are 2 types of value stream mapping maps: operational value stream and development value stream. So in operational value stream are sequence of activities needed to deliver product or service to a customer. They represent the flow of the business. Okay. So for example, fulfilling an order, delivering a professional service, manufacturing a product, or processing a mortgage loan application. So here at the bottom, you see a value stream map for processing a mortgage loan application. Okay, so it's request a loan, quick rate quote, complete loan application, and so on and so forth. And you can see how much time each activity takes. This time, what an activity take, I think this is important to discuss this when you do the 2-day discovery workshop. It is the actual time, not the elapsed time. It is the actual time that the activity take, not that, okay, I'm waiting for somebody and that comes, I do something and then again waiting and do something, then again waiting and do something. So that's not. So how much actually that activity takes? So that is the time, like you saw in the video. Actually, how much time it takes to review an application? Maybe 45 minutes, an hour, but there is 25 days for reviewing the application. So that 25-day goes as a delay. Okay, that's a speed killer. That's a delay. Okay, so you can see here, and then you can basically use this to calculate the what you call is how much is the total speed for processing the loan application. Okay, so this will help you now. So this is a operational value stream. But let's say during this process we say, okay, I want to automate or write a code to do the quoting, this quick rate code. So the person doesn't have to go and use spreadsheets or calculate something, but I have a system to do that. Okay. So the request comes and I will key in the information and gives me the code. So there is an application. Now the process of developing that application is called as a development process, or there is a development value stream. Okay. So development value stream will be basically developing a software application to automate one or multiple or all steps of an operational process. Okay. So like mortgage loan application, if you have a system that automates all the steps, then that process of developing that application will be something like this. It will be a software application. So it will be a software development. So that is why it is called as development value stream map. And you will have your stories or requirements. You do the development, you run the unit test, you deploy to QA and then to QA testing, and then deploy code to production. Okay. And similarly, some kind of like activity time here, and then this is the wait time, and you can find out the total, how much time does it take for each story or each requirement to finish. And then you need to figure out how do I double or triple this speed. Okay. So here that's where you start with developing a value stream map. Then you start collecting data about, and the data that need to be collected is basically activity time and wait time for all their activities and in between wait time. And then you have a lead time or total cycle time, which is all of activity time and all of wait time together. And then this is the process efficiency. Okay. So your lead time is the time it takes to finish it from end to end. And this is what we are trying to double. Okay. And this is also reflected in the process efficiency, it's total activity time or total cycle time. So this is the formula for this. This is the formula for lead time or your speed for each piece of you know um, your value that you deliver to your customer. It could be service, it could be product, or it could be a feature. For example, if you are developing multiple features, then what is the lead time for the feature? Okay, and then how do you double that lead time for the feature? That is what I'm talking about. Okay. Uh, all right. And in an operational and kind of context, how can I double the mortgage loan application? How can I double the order fulfillment or something like that? So that is what I'm talking about. All right. Let's move on. So this is another example that I have used quite a bit. This is the order fulfillment for ordering a car on demand kind of a thing. So there is a request coming in, get the raw material, assemble, paint, engine, install engine, electrical assembly installed, detail installation, QA testing, and accept it. That those are the simple steps. And then you can see the activity time on the top, and then you can see wait time in the middle. Okay. So this is the first thing here, that you created a value stream map and captured the activity time and the wait time. And then you go, by the way, what kind of value stream map it is? Is it operational value stream or development value stream? Anybody? What do you think? Operational or development value stream? Can anybody tell this?
Development.
Actually, it is operational. You are not doing a software development here. So if you see, you are actually fulfilling a service, fulfilling a order. So it's all related to business. It's not, you're not developing a software. So it is not a development value stream map. It is an operational value stream map. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So for this value stream map, these are some of the calculations. So total activity time in 1650 minutes, wait time is this, and cycle time is this. So cycle time is your speed. This is what the customer sees from start to finish, the time they placed an order, and then the time they get the car. So this is the time. And as you can see here, the process efficiency is only 12%. So 88% time is going in waiting, which is here, wait time, right? Now you can see this is the wait time. If you reduce this wait time, you can speed up, right? So because your actual time is really very, very small, and in this example, your actual time is really very, very small. In fact, if you can reduce it to 0, then you can actually make your speed 8 times, 8 or 9 times. But that may not be realistically possible. So we'll first go and see, can we even double it? Can we? So based on this, now you saw these numbers. So let's think about, where are the speed killers? Okay, so let's look at this. Now, this is my first speed killer, right? It is taking 3600 minutes of wait time. So it says that after the testing is over, it will take, it has to wait for 3600 minutes to start the acceptance process. Okay, so that's the first killer. Then this is the second speed killer, where it is waiting between, after the detailed installation is done, it's waiting for QA testing to start, which of course will take 360 minutes. But this is the another speed killer. So you're saying where the most of the time is going. So number one speed killer will be where is the highest wait time. Your third speed killer, another 2400 minutes of wait time. Your fourth speed killer, right, where you have 1200 minutes of waiting time. So very quickly in this example, you see there are 4 speed killers here. Okay, 3600, 24, 24. So 4800 minutes, 6000, and then 9600. So about 10,000 minutes here. This jet itself is here. That itself is here. So if you come back and say, okay, we cannot do anything here, this is something like a hard constraint. Okay, you go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Okay, but unless you lay out the value stream map, unless you do some time analysis, you will not know. Right? Many times, many teams try to do it, but they are not able to identify the speed killers so precisely. So value stream map helps you to identify these speed killers. And then during the discovery, you can think about how we have to change our process, like or what we need to do to kill these speed killers. That's the next conversation that happens about how to kill the speed killers and speed up. Okay, So coming back here, so this is what you do in 2-day discovery, and then you create your new model. You got your speed killers, how you kill the speed killers, and then what will change in the process. Okay, and that is your new process. And then you develop a 30, 60, 90-day plans to achieve achieve those that model, and then you come back and you design and deploy. And as I talked about these 3, 4, 5 steps, I'm not going into the details of those steps today. The main thing was to understand how can we speed up, and this 2-day discovery is pretty good to basically lay the foundation. And then once the foundation is laid, then you can start building on that and start execute. You build and then you execute, and then basically achieve your goal of doubling or tripling your speed. Okay, so time for a quiz, and then we'll come back to. I hope you heard the things well, and you can retain some of that information that will be used in the quiz. So let's go ahead and start the quiz. So let's see, 2, 3. Okay, I got 3 players. Um, Others play if they want to go and go to menti.com and use this code. 4, very good. 4, very good. Need a few more. 5, excellent. 6, very good. Very good. Anybody else? Maybe 5 more seconds if anybody else want. Okay, 7, 8, excellent. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, 9, excellent. 9, 5 more seconds. Anybody wants to join? Okay, so this is how this is going to go. There will be 5 questions that will come, and then you have to respond to those questions in 10 seconds or so. And every right answer you will get score. If you do it fast, you get more score. Wrong answers will get 0. Okay, so let's play. There are 5 questions here. So remember those steps. Okay, so let's see how the score looks like. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, that is step 3. After you actually created the process, then you design it and implement it, and then you create the baseline. Okay, that's interesting. So follow-up goes on the top. Let's go and look at the next one. Okay, only 3 people answered. Ah, okay. This is okay. Kim is leading now. So the next question here. Okay, identifying change leaders.
Oh, identifying change leaders.
Yeah.
I'm screwing up big time.
Okay. Okay. One last question here. Okay, all
Ye-
right. Most of you are right. Let's see the final score here. Let's see who is winning. Okay, so Hola Hop and Kim. I will share my contact information. Uh, take a picture of it and let me know what you'd like to have as your winning prize. Okay, time for questions. I have 10-15 minutes left. Are there any question on doubling the speed? Anybody has any questions? Let me stop sharing this. If you have noted down my contact information, uh, stop sharing. Anybody has any questions? Do you think you can use this process in your environment? How do you introduce this to? Okay, I need to see that chat. Okay, so the question here, Kim is asking, uh, Jana is asking, how do you introduce this to your organization? So the way to introduce this will be to basically first check that people, do they want to speed up, do they want to speed up the delivery of value or delivery of product or service to their customer. Most of the cases answer is going to be yes. Okay, yes, we want to speed up, right? I doubt anybody will say that no, we don't want to speed up. Okay, so once this answer is yes, then okay, let's discuss. I have this idea. I went to this webinar and I learned from there. This is how you can do it, and you have that conversation in your team, that the approach. And once that there is a traction with that approach, that you got it, then you start implementing the 5-step process, identify the change leader, do a workshop and all that. But before you do that, I think you need to do some little groundwork, test waters in your team, and also introduce to them this concept of how do you double the speed. And uh, if you need me to do this webinar for your team, I'll be more than happy to do this for your team. JK will call NK and he will basically repeat that webinar that I attended. So I can come and do this webinar for your team, and then you can go back and discuss how you are going to do that. And of course, if you need any help there, I'll be more than happy to help. But that's how you can start introducing in your organization. Good question, Jana. I think that's a good follow up question. Okay. Anybody else has any other question? Where else can we go to find more information on this topic? I think the more information, the best place. I don't have any other references, but the best place to start will be to start googling how to speed up or something like that. And I think you will find, my gut feel is, I have not done this, but my gut feel is that you will find a lot of references, because normally, and the whole internet is populated with several things related to agile. And I can tell you, whether you are implementing agile or not, it doesn't matter. You can do this in any operational work, like mortgage loan processing, for example. You lay out that value stream map and have the wait times and activity time, and figure out your total lead time. One person submits an application, and how quickly they get the loan approved. Okay, that's the total lead time. how much time does it take? Does it take a week? Does it take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? What does it take to do that? And then once you have laid down all that value stream map and you have that data of activity, wait, time, you can find your speed killers and you can do that. So this doesn't need to be agile, but most of the time when you talk about speed, the people talk about, okay, that's one reason people implement agile. So you will find this literature in a lot of references on the internet. I don't have those, but I developed this model based on my coaching that I have been doing for implementing agile and hybrid practices. And uh, hybrid practices are actually now gaining more momentum over agile. This is interesting. And I was reading this Pulse for Profession in last couple of days, and you can see there the trend for hybrid has overtaken the trend for agile. Uh, so I will recommend. I'm assuming all of you are project managers, and read that Pulse of the Profession report from PMI, and it has some great numbers, trends, numbers, and a lot of good information. And I feel that is hybrid taking over agile is something that I was expecting to happen someday, and it has happened in 2023. Okay. So in 2023 that has happened, and it is going to go more and more. And there are multiple ways of implementing hybrid. So multiple ways of implementing hybrid, and project managers can play a very significant role in implementing that. So you don't have to be a scrum master. You don't have to do all those roles. You can be a project manager and help your team implement hybrid. And implementing hybrid will also move you towards increasing speed. So it really doesn't matter whether you are doing an operational work, you are implementing agile, you are implementing hybrid. The fundamental thing is that you need to understand what is your process of delivering your value to your customer, where are the speed killers, and how to kill those speed killers. I think that's motivated. Google Jana, you will find it. Okay. All right. Anybody else? And if you have any follow-up questions, you can connect with me over LinkedIn, ask the question over there, or send me an email and ask the question there. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.